Boom.
Biddly, 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 bo. Yes, yes, you're dropping in. Here we go. You know what time it is. Get that badger in and on and over here. He's in, he's on, he's over, he's here. I just want to give a quick shout out to Just Joe for having me on yesterday. It was a lovely video. I'm with him for about an hour just discussing what we was going to be up to next couple of weeks, perhaps. Shout out to everybody that was tuned in and all that stuff. I've got a single on the 13th of September. Be much appreciated. The link below, it will show you everything that you need to know about how to help a brother out. But we're not here for that. We're here for a quick shit vid, so let's get to it. I had to move back to get his greatness in. He's in. We're high beat. Ain't nobody down round here. You know how we do it. Nobody do it how we does it. Quick shout out to Pat Dunn and Bob Hope, who are both members of my channel, pay 99p a month. It's much appreciated. Pat Dunn and Bob Hope. Yes, so... Ayo! Tanaka is official, bro. So he is in the door, the first one in. I'm doing this video slightly earlier than planned because I wanted to sort of wait. I thought we might have had the second announcement by now. I mean, Joe got me going yesterday, potentially thinking about that there's going to be three of them, three incomings. That is looking increasingly unlikely. We will get to that though. But there will be another one in the next hour or so, I do believe, or they might just do it at 10 o'clock at night. It depends if there's going to be a third one in. If somebody comes in at 7, before 7, there's a third one. If it's after 7, I think it's done. But yeah, Tanaka's in. Japanese, so he is. Kamara's replacement, apparently, but I would argue that we've already got Kamara's replacement due to the fact that Gruev was sort of favoured. I think Kamara, to be fair, not the pre-season, he looked a bit leggy at times. But Gruev, played, you know, they sort of did share that role, didn't they? And I think it was more due to the fact that Ampadu came into centre. It would have been interesting to see who he'd have gone with. There's a lot of talk. Joe mentioned this yesterday that Tanaka is actually Fucker's player, and he didn't actually want Kamara. He wanted Tanaka over Kamara, and then Tanaka got injured, so he went in for Kamara. So maybe he's finally got his man. That's why Kamara quite literally is out the door. I'm not sure how this one will turn out. I'm not too fussed due to the fact I think Gruev and Kamara can do the job. We've also got Rothwell in there. Sorry, I'm talking about Kamara. Ampadu, you know what I'm saying. Nobody do it how he does it. So the number 10 role is looking like it's going to be unfilled. There's a lot of talk of that Salah guy. Well, that's not Sally or whatever you're going to say his name, but that's not looking likely now. Wilder, there's a big rumour gone round that Wilder with his fucking ham face, like getting in a rage, getting moody about absolutely everything. Every time someone guffs, he goes off on one, doesn't he? He's apparently said that he'll quit if that Hamer leaves and comes to Leeds United, which I mean, he hasn't said that. It's just it definitely just isn't true. But also, there's an element of me that is just like, he might have said that. He's so like off the chain, and he just honestly, when he sets off, you've just got to let him go, haven't you? Just wait till that motherfucker lands. Somebody said that we need to sign Hamer on the basis that he'll quit, but I actually go against that and say don't sign Hamer on the basis that he quit. I don't want him quitting. I want him. Well, I thought, I'd like to say I want him sacked by Christmas or whatever, but I don't. The thing is, I always think this with managers that I don't like. I think, get them sacked or whatever. And then they get sacked and it's like, it's like a bit boring. I remember when Solskjaer got sacked from them that we don't speak of, and I was like, hey! And then it comes to like weekend matches and I was checking out highlights and that, and I was like, do you know what I mean? I kind of like that, let's have a look at Wilder's face when they get thumped 4-0 or whatever, just in a random game. It's like, let's watch his interviews as we start winning games, start pulling away. It's like, get in! It's the best stuff ever, but yeah. But no, on a serious note, I think that's nonsense, and I hope we sign Hamer, but I don't think that's happening. There's not been any wind about it whatsoever, so... if I'm honest, I'm surprised we got 4 in. I was slightly concerned at the end of last week, the end of last week where we'd not really brought anybody in. I started to get concerned that, particularly when Rutter went, I just thought this is really bad now. And I actually panicked that it was going to be a bit of a panic getting people in. But obviously Ramazzini looks like a decent signing. I'm really excited about that, Solomon. So, whether he starts at the weekend or not, we don't know. Because obviously James is ruled out for that game. If we get this Schmidt guy in, who scored a goal yesterday. He's played at a relatively decent standard in Europa League Cup or whatever it is. The Conference Cup, the one that West Ham won. He played in that. He got plenty of goals last season. They finish about 4th or 5th in league. So, they're a decent side, so that's a decent signing. Particularly where, Bogle's not looked like the man yet, but he may very well become part of a strong squad. Look at what happened to Firpo. So, I think it's slightly different due to the fact that Bogle knows what the league is. Firpo's just come over. Mandingo came over and was overwhelmed with it all. I used to call him the Wanderer because he'd just float around and then be like, I don't think he knew what was going on. So, but whereas Bogle does know what's going on. But I don't give a fuck how much we spent. Everybody's saying, just pay it! Just fucking pony up the door, man! Just pony it up, let it go, bring them in, fucking hell. I'm sat here on Twitter with my dick in my hand, and I just cannot understand if we're on about paying 25 million for this random guy that I'll speak about in a minute. And it's definitely a load of bollocks, is that. But, Sheffield United want 18 mil for Hamer. Just pay it. Who's told you that they want 18 million for Hamer? These rumours it's all woof, isn't it? It's all woof, woof. Literally, all of it. It's all a long bark. But, where this information, I'm all for it. I'm all in on it. But what people do is, particularly the Twitterites, is they hand select these rumours and then they're the true ones. So the true ones are when the 49ers are messing around. They're the true ones. So they just won't pony up the deal. But Sheffield United want 18 million for him. It's a fact. You don't know that, do you? Like, I do, because it pisses me off and it allows me to go on Twitter and have a go at 49ers. I think, let's see what happens. I don't think he's coming in. But I don't give a fuck how much we've spent. Everybody goes on about this marquee signing. You could argue that Solomon's a bit of a marquee signing. You could argue that Ramazzini, coming over is like, that's like, oh, let's see what this guy's about. I get the marquee, proven. But Solomon's a proven Premier League footballer, really. So, So this Schmidt guy, who I've actually got a mate that I don't even know if he knows me anymore, because I did a festival a few years ago and I booked him through someone else. He came to play and I don't think he even remembered me. So it was like a loose, it'd been about 10 years and it was a loose, I won't say a friendship. We shared, I'm now, because I'd always say be more memorable to myself. So, it's my fault. But I think it's due to the fact we was all in the same studio block and there was a lot in and out. So, because don't you start telling me that I'm not memorable, Schmitty. Not that he watches these, he's from Birmingham. But yeah, I don't know where I've gone there. But yeah, he's looking like it's coming through. So there's loads of talk that he's there, getting his medical done and whatnot. As I say, I think that'll get called pretty late if he's the last one coming in. If it happens pretty much as I'm doing this video, we might be in for a nice night. There's been some utter bollocks, I do believe, about this gadget from Dynamo Zagreb. He's a forward called Martin Baturina, which is all aboard the bullshit bus. Dictionary corner, Martin Baturina. 25 million, 25 point something million. Possibly nonsense. Definitely likely to be nonsense. It is nonsense. Apparently they accepted the bid, but then Martin Baturina rejected the move to Leeds. A 21-year-old forward. Definitely bollocks. Not heard anything about potential outgoings because I did start to panic. There was a lot of talk, not panic, but I thought Nonto last night. I started to think, I was pretty confident on Joe's show last night that Nonto were going nowhere. And then I started to think, I don't know about that actually. But no, so there's not been any grumblings, not any sort of things other than, as I say, I'm currently not searching as we speak. So there might be some horrendous going on. So the squad will be Darlow as your backup, Meslier, Silent S as your keeper. That's Bob on for me. Bogle and that Schmidt guy, if we sign that Schmidt, as your wing backs, Firpo and Byram. So that's all four of them gadgets. Firpo's pretty much stuck to left back, Bogle stuck to right back. That Schmidt can apparently just play absolutely everywhere, so it'd be interesting to see what we do with him. Byram can play either side. That Schmidt can play either side. He can also play further forward. I don't know what Schmidt is. We'll have to wait and see with that, because statistics are mental. He's played literally every single position on God's land, and he's even played scrum half. He's been creating positions in different sports. Then we've got Debayo, however you say his name, and Rodon, Wobber, Weblin, Wibbly, Wobber, and Struick as your centre backs. Ampadu as an option. Now, Leeds have tweeted about Cooper's birthday today, and he still hasn't had this see-off. And there is some rumblings that I know I said no outgoings, but there is some rumblings that Wobber, Wibbly, Wobblers looking for a way out. Just get rid if he wants a way out. Cooper's a far better backup than Wobber anyway. I know nobody likes the idea of that, and I think Cooper's probably disenfranchised from it all now due to the fact that we've sort of left him in lurch. But I'd rather have Cooper in and around it than Wibbling, Wobbly, Webber. So then in middle, we've got Gruev, Ampadu, Rothwell, and that Tanaka who we've signed, definitely confirmed. So that's 4. I think we're strong enough in there. We've got Nonto at the moment, and hopefully by the end of the play today. And then that Ramazzini out wide on the right. Solomon and James on the left. Through middle, we've got Aronson, Parisley, Peroni. You could argue Geldarks. It's looking like they don't seem to want to get rid of Geldart. And then nobody likes this idea, but Bamford is still at the club, and when he gets fit, we will need to use him, so go easy. Bamford and Joseph up top. Now, I think that is strong enough. I think that gets you out of the league quite comfortably. I think if we'd not lost Somerville, Rutter, Kamara, I think we could. Kamara's not like it. I mean, Kamara I thought were a big loss, but it's not, what I'm saying? It's not that, as people would say, the marquee signing. It's not a marquee loss. So if you just pretend they were never at the club, and then you looked at our squad there, if that Solomon hits ground running and Ramazzini bangs in a few belters early doors, then we're in, we're on, we're over, and we're off, aren't we? So what's everybody's thought on window? I'll drop in. Obviously, I hadn't even thought about the game tomorrow. I should have done a bit more of a breakdown. It'd be interesting to see who plays tomorrow, because obviously Dan James is injured. I'm hoping it's that Solomon myself. I feel like it will be. Be mint if he starts. Obviously, I'll be at Ellen Road. If anybody's about, give us a shout. As always, we all love Leeds. We all love Leeds. We all love Leeds. We all love Leeds. Do you think it's been a good window? Do you think we're strong enough? Champions, champions. Ooh, eh, oh, eh, oh, eh, oh, eh, oh.
Boom.
JackCity, bitch. JackCity, bitch. Hey!
I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna play no games. No, I don't wanna hear your promises. You do you, and I'll do me. That's just the way it is. Don't wanna ever feel surprised. That's why I ask no.